Hey, what's going on, guys? Jacob here, and on today's vlog, I wanted to talk about the most recent mortgage stress test changes that just got announced that I'm sure you all have heard about on social media. And I figured who better to explain to us than an actual mortgage professional, because I, to be honest, don't really understand all these changes and what they really mean. So, Diana, thank you for joining me. Why don't you introduce yourself, and then we can jump right into it.
All right, so I'm Diana Iskander with the Lending Suite of Mortgage Alliance. I've been in the mortgage industry for about 15 years now.
Okay, awesome. So can you explain what these changes mean and explain it like I'm five?
Of course. So, okay, let me first explain what's in place now, and then I will explain what the difference is. So, right now, if you were to get a high ratio mortgage, so what a high ratio mortgage is anybody putting less than 20% down, then you have a high ratio insured mortgage. All of those mortgages have to qualify as if you have a rate of 5.19, even though that's not the interest rate that you're paying, but that's the mortgage qualifying rate. They want to make sure that there's a buffer there between what your rate is and what you can qualify for. In case rates go up, they want to make sure that you can still afford that property. So that's what's in place now. The mortgage qualifying rate, it changes maybe a couple times a year, not often. Okay. Now, what they want to implement in April is a new mortgage qualifying rate. And the way that they're going to figure out what that rate is every week they're going to take the median rate of all insured mortgages. Okay. So let's say all of these rates end up being around 2.79 is the median rate. Okay.
Right.
And they're going to add a 2% buffer to that. So whatever the median rate is, they're going to add a 2% buffer. So as an example, if they were to do this today, it might be around 2.79, then add that 2% buffer. The qualifying rate this week would be 4.79%, which is great because if this was to take place today, people could qualify for a little bit more on their pre-approval, approximately 5% more.
Okay,
Now, the
so it's going to help
reason
you
why
qualify.
people are
It's going to help you qualify
for
5%
more,
more buying power than what you would have had with the current setup,
approximately.
if everything else stays the same, like the interest. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So, but keep in mind that we don't know what the median rate is actually going to be when this takes into effect. So, that's why you're not seeing a lot of people throwing out figures like if you qualified for this much, then under the old rate, then now under the new rate you're going to qualify for this much, because we don't know what it actually is going to be. We're going to be working with a moving target on a weekly basis, basically.
Sounds a little bit more complicated than the current setup.
It is, yes. And I think they just want to see this mortgage qualifying rate moving more in line with what the actual rates are that people are getting.
Gotcha. Okay, that kind of makes a little bit more sense then.
Yeah.
All right. So what kind of words of advice do you have for buyers out there?
My advice to buyers out there is obviously get that pre-approval, but throughout the whole entire process, stay in close contact with your mortgage broker. So and let's say you don't find that house that you want to put an offer in on until 3 months later, just check in with them to make sure, has anything changed? Because rules are always changing. And especially now, we're going to see this mortgage qualifying rate maybe changing on a weekly basis. So you want to make sure that what I was pre-approved for this week is that still going to be into effect next week.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. So they've got to just make sure they've got their mortgage rep involved throughout the entire process. Communication
Exactly.
basically is really important.
Exactly. And that it's been explained to you, and but don't be scared. Like, we're not saying that 1 week you're going to be approved for 500,000 and then the next week you're only going to be approved for 450. It's not going to be to that extreme, but if you are going to that absolute max, it may change your buying power just a little bit.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Do you want to let everybody know how to get a hold of you?
Yes. So you can find me on Facebook or Instagram at the Lending Suite, or you can send me an email at diana@thesuite.ca.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. All
No
right,
problem.
guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Like we just said, if you have any mortgage questions, never hesitate to reach out to Diana. And if you have any real estate related questions, never hesitate to reach out to me. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good
Thanks.
one. Bye.